New York Daily News reported that there is missing footage from Jeffrey Epstein's alleged first suicide attempt where he had a cellmate, Nick Tartaglione. Tartaglione says that he tried to help save Jeffrey Epstein's life after this alleged suicide attempt. And then Jeffrey Epstein was alleging that Tartaglione actually attacked him. So this footage is missing, and then we know that 2 weeks later, Jeffrey Epstein is found dead in his cell of what they claimed was a successful suicide attempt. So before he was transferred, he shared this cell with Nick Tartaglione, who is on trial facing, I believe, 4 murder or homicide charges for a drug deal gone bad. He is also a former police officer. And then, so Tartaglione's defense could potentially benefit if this footage was found somehow and it showed that he was actually helping or trying to help Epstein, trying to save his life from this alleged suicide attempt. And then obviously, if it showed him attacking Epstein, that would hurt him. And so the judge in this case has asked that the government try to find out what happened to this footage, try to locate it, because obviously, it could be very helpful for Tartaglione's defense if it did show that he was trying to save Jeffrey Epstein's life, or maybe Jeffrey Epstein was telling the truth when he said that Tartaglione did in fact attack him. So who knows who took this footage, why they don't have it, what happened to it, will we ever see it? I mean, these are all questions we might not ever find out. And, as most people, already know, Jeffrey Epstein kept the company of some very, very powerful people that included former President Bill Clinton, current President Donald Trump, Prince Andrew from the United Kingdom, different, governors here in the United States, as well as other powerful political figures from, different countries, and as well as being, connected to Israeli intelligence from the Mint Press, article that kind of detailed that. Highly recommend checking that out. It's very, interesting read. So obviously Epstein had a lot of very powerful enemies, and it, some of those enemies maybe cut some type of deal with Tartaglione to make the Epstein problem go away, because if the Epstein case would have in fact went to trial with Jeffrey Epstein still being alive, there's a good chance that he would have released a lot of potentially damning information to these very, very powerful people, and so they stood to benefit if Jeffrey Epstein was killed. So maybe one of those people or a combination of them were able to get to Tartaglione and offer him some type of deal for trying to, kill Jeffrey Epstein, essentially. And so maybe that's why this tape, ended up disappearing as it has, because it maybe showed Tartaglione trying to kill Jeffrey Epstein, and that's basically what Jeffrey Epstein had said that happened. So maybe that's why the tape has disappeared. Maybe it's for a different, completely unrelated reason, but who knows? It'd be very interesting if this tape did show up to see if in fact Jeffrey Epstein was attacked by his cellmate Tartaglione, in some type of, payment was given to Tartaglione for him to do that, or maybe Jeffrey Epstein was lying about that and Tartaglione, tried to help save his life during this, what was described as a suicide attempt. But these are all questions we might not ever know about unless this footage somehow resurfaces. But, I think it's more than likely we'll probably never ever see that footage of what transpired during that first alleged suicide attempt of Jeffrey Epstein at the MCC, the Metropolitan Correctional Center. I believe it's in some part of New York City. And I mean, it's within the it's within reason to think that his cellmate, who was accused of a quadruple homicide, so a murder of 4 people, that he would be, potentially willing and capable of, killing or murdering somebody else in Jeffrey Epstein if, some of those powerful people were able to maybe get connected or contacted with Tartaglione and offer him some type of deal of maybe when he does get sentenced for those murder charges, maybe he gets, a nicer prison or some more, stuff at commissary. Who knows, whatever it was, but you could definitely see, it's not with definitely within the realm of possibility. I think that something like that happened, given how many high profile and very wealthy and influential people Jeffrey Epstein kept company with. So they, if that Epstein case had went to trial, which, as I said, with Jeffrey Epstein being alive, those powerful people would have a lot to lose if Jeffrey Epstein, started bringing names and things like that into it. So, what do you think happened? What happened to this footage? Was is it something nefarious why it disappeared, or was there some other reason? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below.